Right, talking about star-studded panels, we've had some of the biggest ministers grace this stage, and now we have an actor par excellence. I wrote that AV for you, Ayushmann, by the way. It was very easy to do that because it's incredible your work in the last, what, 11 years to 12 years? 2012 was Vicky Donor. You started off as a theater artist in Chandigarh, 5 years of theater roughly, and then TV happened, and then movies happened. You know, in corporate terminology, that's called steady career progression. You know, when you look back at your journey, and today you are here, you've just won the Time Magazine's Time 100 Impact Award. You know, you're somebody who's taken Bollywood globally as a personality recognized globally. From the streets of Chandigarh to now, when Ayushmann Khurrana looks back at his own journey, what does he think?
Very gratifying. I think the journey has been really gratifying, and the universe has been really kind to me. I've met amazing people in this journey. Started as a radio presenter, television anchor, from taking interviews to giving interviews, knowing actors as a journalist, and then giving interviews. I think it's quite surreal. Nobody knows that I said no to 6 films before signing up with Vicky Donor, because I always thought that being an outsider, I will never get a second chance. तो पहली बॉल पर सिक्सर मारना ज़रूरी था, otherwise मेरा ऑप्शन नहीं था कोई. So yeah, as I said, universe has been really kind to me. Hard work सभी करते हैं, but yeah, I've met great people in this journey.
Humility, of course, why not? After all the success. But okay, the reason why I'm asking you this is that you're talking about refusing 6 films before Vicky Donor happened. From Vicky Donor to now, you've done films where the story is the star. In an industry that is obsessed with larger-than-life stardom and personalities, you chose every single time. I mean, I've been a fan of everything from Vicky Donor to Badhai Ho, to Andhadhun, for which you won the national award. The story is the star, consistently, not once, not just the first time. What was it like doing that, being part of Bollywood?
You know, my father, my late father, he once told me, if you're on a superstar, you should go for a superscript. So I always chose scripts which were real, authentic, clutter-breaking, novel. They ushered some kind of social change or a social conversation. And it happened over the years. I started with Vicky Donor, then Dam Laga Ke Ish, or Badhai Ho, or Shubh Mangal Savdhan, Zyada Savdhan, Andhadhun, Article 15.
Every single one. You can count every single one of your movies.
But again, I've always never believed in this ecosystem or the hierarchy which has been made, the star-driven industry. Of course, it is. But having said that, I think this super scripts or maybe these kind of novel ideas, they've ushered me to stardom. And I'm proud of all the collaborators with me, which joined me. And yeah, in future also, I'll keep on doing roles which are relatable. And I like to play this ordinary man in an extraordinary situation. So that's been a common thread in my films. So I love doing that.
It's a bit meta, isn't it? You are an ordinary man in an extraordinary situation today in real life. And then you play an ordinary man in an extraordinary situation in your movies as well. Talking about scripts and movies, do you think that, India at this stage, we can have stars like Ayushmann Khurrana, who is going to turn around and say, it doesn't have to be about me. This movie doesn't have to be about me. For example, Badhai Ho. You're technically the so-called male protagonist in the movie. The movie was about so many things apart from you. You can do that in India right now because that's where Indian filmmaking has reached. The audiences have matured like that. And that's the kind of cinema from India that's doing well outside of India, that's making the world sit up and take notice of Indian cinema, like Andhadhun, for which you win the national award for performing in that. Do you think we are at the right stage to take Indian cinema to the world in terms of scripts, performances, and production values?
Everybody's looking at India right now. It's the best time to be an artist. It's best time to be an Indian. So I think we are living in a great era. And I'm proud of the fact that we have like a Natu Natu or Elephant Whisperers who won like global validation. And it's a proud moment for us. The more rooted we go, we should actually explore more rooted stories. And that's how we reach globally. They are, for them, I think it's very intriguing to know about India. We have a vast country, we have our own complexities, we have crazy amount of languages, religions, regions, and I think more we explore on the celluloid or through art, I think it'll be incredible, and we are reaching globally, and I think it's a great feat.
Yeah, it's beautiful that Punjab da Puttar here is talking about so many languages, referring to South Indian movies as well. I always used to say, you are the Hindi version of Vijay Sethupathi. That's my favorite way of giving you a compliment. That's the kind of movies you've done, the kind of work you've done. I'm sure you yourself mutually are friends and fans of each other as well.
We have transcended boundaries in terms of cultures and languages. Back in the day, when Kannada cinema was not doing this, suddenly Kantara happened. And, things have changed dramatically. Even Andhadhun performed really well in China. It is beyond that barrier of language and culture, and art is a true unifier in a country right now.
Absolutely. You brought Pani Da Rang to the national audience. Somebody from Chennai, Madras like me sang Pani Da Rang when it came out. We'll get to that later. We'll talk about your singing later. We're talking about going global. Talk to us about what happened when you were told that you were part of the Time Magazine's 100 Impact List. And that was not just for your disruptive cinema with social messaging, something that creates social conversations we were talking about, but also your exemplary work as a child rights protection ambassador for UNICEF.
Time happened twice in these last 3 years. I never aspired for that validation. I was just doing my job. I've said that repeatedly that if your core is pure, if you want to probably work through your craft and send a social message, not with certain agenda in mind, the acknowledgements are later. They are just byproducts of whatever you do. And wholeheartedly, I have chosen stories which are unique, novel, and clutter-breaking, and they usher a certain social change, as I said earlier. So I guess it's really worked like that. My father has blessed me, I think, that I got that validation twice in these last 3 years. And there was no in desperation to get global validation. I think we're just doing our jobs as an artist, and that's that.